Good morning, traders. It's time to get started and back into the hot seat. It's the biggest week of earnings. At least that's the way I feel. There's so much on the report this week. It's going to shake about trading, that's for sure. But today, we're already getting started. It's a green day. Let's see if we can just end the green day, or maybe ourselves can catch some green. Let's find out.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Good morning, traders. Sorry for getting a little started late. We had ourselves a little bit of the pre-show. You know, we like to enjoy ourselves too, say hello, but we'll say hello to you guys. Let's bring them on. Ryan, Faloona,
how's it going?
And Zunaid.
I like
What's
that.
up, guys?
The pre-show. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, to get access into this, you know, you just have to be, you know, our friends. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe below. You guys could get in on it also, but we need you guys to show some support for the stream. Let's get right into it. It seems like Ryan is popping the collar out. Did the Bears win?
Bears play tonight. Bears play tonight, and
he's bringing the bear. That's what happened.
If you're gonna try to make a trade on the Bears tonight, I would trade on the under, and I would trade on a Bears L tonight. Personally,
dang.
I'm actually hoping for an upset because I've got some friends. I'm in the survivor group, and like I think 4 or 5 of the 17 remaining have the Patriots winning tonight. So if the Bears win, I'll be a happy camper on Tuesday.
All right. Well, we'll see if they can surprise even me. I'm not hopeful though.
All right, let's get into the trading action. Of course, there was action throughout the weekend. It looks like today China stocks getting hit hard on the downside, but let's take a look at the overall market, see what's going out there, and of course, what's on the trade. What are you looking at, my friend? What do we got here?
Let's see. We're taking a look at the ES because you guys know I'm trying to get into futures trading and still trying to practicing my way there. So, of course, make sure you check out Ninja Trader and I stream later on at 11 o'clock Eastern today. So that's what I was kind of keeping an eye on, just seeing how well it responds to VWAP, which is a yellow line here for those of you. Yeah, these are my blue light glasses because last night I was going to bed and I saw wrinkles and I wasn't happy. Well, I've always had wrinkles, but this time I was a little too zoomed in. But anyway, you can see it's kind of rejected VWAP a couple of times. Then we bounce above and we bounce again right back from VWAP. You guys know I love it. I'd marry it if I could. But we're going to move on to kind of checking out the SPY. And then, of course, I'm going to go ahead and move these levels because that doesn't have to do with anything. And yeah, at the SPY, you can see the 378 seems to be resistance at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and mark that area for us. And then you've got support right around here, which is about the 371.65. So that's the range we've got in the pre-market, which I'm comfortable kind of taking a look at. And you can see if you look a little bit to the left, you also had the 372 that was resistance. But once we popped over, it ended up being support, and we're kind of going to the upside. One thing I will say is, as you can see, I was trading the SPY here to the left. Unfortunately, I tried to be cute and I forgot that the trend is your friend. So I continuously started to short it and trying to find the top tick, trying to be cute again, but I ended up being ugly. So we're going to try to not do that today. We're going to try to just be patient, wait for our trades to come to us like a wide receiver should. Sometimes wait for the ball to come to him. And sometimes I think you're supposed to go get the football. That's a terrible analogy. Let's not clip that for social media. Moving on to Apple though. 148 seems to be resistance. We saw that on Friday. We saw it at pre-market right over here as well. So we'll go ahead and mark that 178. If Apple can get over 148, come back, test it. I think we can go ahead and see the 150s. I'm sure you could make a whole Indian movie's worth of clips of me mispronouncing and misreading the numbers that I've got. Oh, wait, let's go back to Apple here. And then support on the 145. Once it broke 145, you can see you had the retest happen and it continued its climb to the upside there as well. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But at the moment, though, you've got this 145.65 level that's kind of holding on. So, man, just kind of keeping an eye on where I want to be. But ultimately, this 145 level could give you a scalping opportunity. Or if it cracks below, comes back and retests, acts as resistance, then you can possibly go ahead and come on down to the 143.39, which, by the way, was previous close on Thursday. And look at that. It held as support right over there as well. Moving on to Tesla. I'm not sure what these wicks are. I'm going to assume it has something to do with China, but I have no idea. So let me not pretend like I do. But I'm going to go ahead and mark a little bit of support here at 206. And again, this crayon drawing here from 215.63 held to be kind of true here on Tesla earlier today. And that's simply because that was Thursday's previous high. Tesla had a really nice move from, we were waiting for Tesla to come down to 200. Unfortunately, it did not do that. We got a chance to play at Tesla a couple of times on Friday, so we'll look to play it again here today as well. Moving on to AMD. We were waiting for $50 to happen, but it unfortunately never did. Continued its little bounce up here. That $60 resistance has been real key in terms of rejection. I'm going to go ahead and mark that puppy right there. Let's go ahead and delete this because I don't really see a true support here. And then we'll see if AMD, if the market wants to continue to the upside, you've got AMD that's going to go ahead and crack above $60, come back with the retest. You can go ahead and grab it with the stop loss at, let's say, 59.50, or I prefer 59.45, just to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room in terms of a spike to the downside. Nvidia here, we used to love playing this stock a few months back, but lately I haven't been as interested. I've been interested in playing AMD a little bit. Don't really have the best reads on Nvidia here, except the 126 that you can see is the pre-market high. And then, of course, you've got around the 128 area or so. That's the resistance from Thursday. Moving on to Amazon. Amazon, that 113.26 level has been key. Look at that bounce once, twice, and 3 times here as well in the pre-market on Friday, and a nice move to the upside we go. In terms of resistance, the 123 is what I've got, and that's because you had that be resistance earlier in the month in October 4th around 11:30 p.m. So we'll see if Amazon wants to go up there. If it does, I would be interested in shorting it with the stop loss at, let's say, 123.59. Let's go ahead and move on to Google. That $100 level has been really fun to play with. We made money a bunch of times, but we did get burned a few times as well. So we'll keep an eye on this $100 level on Google. Hello, Alyssa. Just slacking. I appreciate you. Slacking as in Slack messaging, not slacking at work. She never does that. But here we go. They're going to set a limit order to go ahead and purchase some shares. Let's say at 10. And then we'll go ahead and since that order's placed, we'll go ahead and place another order to purchase some there. And then we'll kind of give it 50 cents or so to the downside and then see if we can get a little bit of a trade out of that one. So that's Google right over there. Checking out Netflix. After earnings, you had it kind of go into the gap itself. You can see that 250 level, once it cracked above, it was just straight to the upside, but we've got still a gap, a long way to go. And we had played Netflix, as you can see from my arrows on. Oh, I guess I thought we had played it Thursday, Friday, but I was wrong. We had played it on Wednesday, which was right after it had reported on Tuesday. But now it's kind of still got long ways to go. If the market acts strong, I would not be surprised if Netflix goes ahead and makes its way towards 300, then it rejects, and then we can figure out life from there. But that's what I've got on Netflix. No real good area in terms of level besides the 280 for me on Netflix. Matter of fact, yeah, we can have 280 be an area of support for Netflix in case it decides to bounce there. But I like the $300 rejection a little bit more, giving it about a buck or two to the upside and waiting for a buck or two to the downside. And then going over Microsoft, nothing really that I like here. Maybe the 245 level seems to be resistance. Yeah, it only went about 3 cents above. You can see it was resistance right over here at the 245. And then Snap. Oh, man, this was a fun trade to go ahead and short on Friday. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. We'll see how it wants to behave, if it even gets volume, right? The only reason it had volume on Friday is because it reported earnings after close on Thursday. So I guess I'll keep it on the watch list for now. But that's kind of pretty much what I have. The Qs is the only thing I haven't gone over. And that you can see you've got resistance from the past couple of days around maybe 277.86 area. But besides that, I don't really love the levels on the Qs. I'd rather trade other areas, especially the SPY that we talked about with 378 being resistance, 371 also being support. And whatever comes in between, we'll go ahead and take a look at what you got in the small cap world.
Well, I'm actually going to start with the Qs here real quick because
Awesome.
there is something that we've been watching for with the Qs. First of all, one of the things that we took a look at here was this candle from June 16th. The bottom of the body of this candle is 271.39, and that represents a fairly important level, right? We got a close from Friday. We got a close above that level. Really what we're waiting for is 3 closes above or below to determine if that 271.39 area is support or resistance. Now, the price is currently above it. So currently it should be using it as support, but we really only had 1 close above it. The prior candle was a close beneath it. The prior candle before that was a close beneath it. And the prior close before that was a close above it. So to me, it seems like the Qs are still trying to figure out which direction it's going to go. And as Mitch led with here, we have a tremendous amount of earnings going on this week. And in fact, just to kind of set the stage for that, let's take a look at the earnings calendar here. First of all, after the close today, we have Logitech and Discover. I would guess that those are probably going to be the 2 biggest or the 2 most notable from today. But starting tomorrow starts the biggest week of earnings. In the morning, we have UPS, GM, Coca-Cola, 3M. You could even throw Raytheon in there and Valero and GE. I know there's a lot of people trading energy, trading the defense names, and also some of these consumer staples. Then, of course, we have tomorrow after the close, we have Alphabet, Microsoft, Visa, Texas Instruments, Biogen, Chipotle, Spotify, just a ton of earnings here this week. So we're going to check back in on this probably multiple times this week. But one of the things that I'm going to be watching for here are how the Qs trade. And I want to see where we actually close in relation to the bottom of the body of this June 16th candle. So we're up a little bit today. Question is, do we reverse and trade back down to the lows and close beneath this? I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I especially wouldn't be surprised given the news that we had in the China names. So we touched on that just a little bit. President Xi over in China was elected for his 3rd term, which is unprecedented. He's now the longest leader since Mao Zedong. The market is reacting to that. So far, Chinese investments have been kind of spotty as it is, kind of trade them at your own risk. And the market is telling you that it's even more risky now. So all of the China names, Baba, Baidu, Tencent, they're all trading lower here today. And I want to see, do these names catch a bounce today? Or do they continue to kind of hold some of these lower levels or maybe even take the next leg lower? I think that might also have an effect on some of these other names and how they trade. So I definitely want to be watching this stuff here today. Just want to kind of get a feel for how it's actually trading. Again, Baba having a decent pre-market here. We'll wait and see if this ends up holding or if this ends up flushing and returning back down to the lows. Now, as far as the movers tool, we don't have a whole lot here yet. Not a whole lot to prepare you on. First one here is going to be PCVX. Okay, Papa Charlie Victor X-ray. This is Vaxcyte. We do have a catalyst here. Vaxcyte shares are trading higher for the company reported top-line data from its phase 1.5 proof of concept study of VAX-24, which met the primary safety and tolerability objectives, demonstrating a safety profile similar to Prevnar 20 for all doses studied. So market likes this. We're trading up here. This one, I definitely want to see how it trades. I've never traded this before. I would expect this to be spready, and I would expect this to be volatile right at the open. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some profit taking here. I especially wouldn't be shocked if this traded back down to a 35 handle. If we actually can hold 35 and show any type of curling, we might have pretty good move back up towards 38. And we're talking about a 3-point range here on $30 stocks. So there might be some pretty good trading opportunities here in this name. We're going to have to see how it shakes out. I'm certainly not going to chase it right out of the open here. Next one here is going to be MOTS, and this is a small cap. This is a $2 stock. We've actually traded this before. Interestingly enough, I only added one line to this chart, and it was the 223 line that denoted the pre-market high here from this morning. The other lines that were on this chart were from the last time that we've traded this. So you can see this thing likes to spike. We've seen it before. it likes to give back those spikes. So if we end up trading this one, don't be afraid to book gains if and when you have them. The stock does like to reverse. We'll see what types of opportunities we can get. Now, if this thing really gets crazy, I suppose we might as well mark some more of these levels here. I'm just going to mark 2 more on here, but I just wanted to show you that these levels were from the previous time that MOTS appeared on our list. So we'll see if this can get going here. Currently holding right under 2. If I zoom in here, I'd really like this to make a move through 2 and then take out this 2.8, 210 level on volume. Again, not rushing out to buy anything here this morning. I'm going to play it a little bit more conservative and a little bit more safe. The only one left here on the movers list is MYOV, and I don't anticipate any trading on this today. This is a buyout. Myovant Sciences shares are trading higher. If the company announced it would be acquired by Summitovant Biopharma for $27 per share in cash. So this was $24.40 on Friday. It's 40 cents or 37 cents under that $27 level today. I don't expect any trading. That's why this is up here today. Otherwise, we're going to watch the relative volume scanner. We're going to wait for volume flows here, and we're going to see what kind of market we have. The one thing to look for with these earnings prints here this week is, we got the midterms coming up at the beginning of the month here, so like 2 weeks away. We have stats that show us that the S&P generally outperforms. I think it's 16 of the last 19 midterm cycles. The S&P has outperformed following the 12 months past the midterms. We'll see if we end up getting that. It's possible here that the market actually is fairly strong in November and December before returning to lows early next year. So a lot to watch for. We'll see what we hear out of some of these earnings prints. And also, given the news out of China, it'll be interesting to see if that China news is talked about on any of these companies that have substantial Chinese exposure, like Apple, for example. So we're going to be watching those things too. That might prepare us here for another trade. So that's pretty much all I got. Not a whole lot here on the list. Definitely going to be reacting more to what we see. Some of the ETFs that we've been trading in here recently might be on deck. They have actually provided some excellent trades. I know we talked about on Thursday, we talked about SOXL and SOXS. SOXL really broke down on Thursday and then went for a pretty crazy run on Friday. And SOXS obviously is the inverse of that, right? So we actually talked about this on Thursday. This thing ended up making a huge rip and then bled all the way back down. So these ETFs, no matter what the market is doing, they can provide some pretty good trading action. And in lieu of some of the other things going on, we'll keep an eye on some of these as well. We'll also watch the S&P ETFs for this. I hear Zen Bullish mentioning Tesla here. Just taking a look at the Tesla chart. Tesla pounding the lows here. So we're actually revisiting these pre-market lows. Sorry, Zunaid, I actually went to the washroom when you were covering some of your stocks. So if you covered Tesla, I missed your plan. We should probably go over that again if you do have a plan here for Tesla. What I'd like to see here is I'd actually like to see these hold the lows. I suspect out of the open, we might just sink a little bit more. Maybe we get a reversal on that sell-off. We'll have to wait and see. We'll try and use volume to confirm that, but that's easier said than done on a name like Tesla. That's all I got.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm surprised. I literally have China written on my trading situation here, but I completely forgot to go over it. Just taking a look at BABA, it's not the all-time low on BABA. I believe the all-time low is like 50 something on this puppy, if I can find it. Come on, where are you? I know it's here somewhere. There it is. Way back in 2016, right after it IPO'd, it made a nice little dip and it came back to the upside. So you've got levels here at 59.32 and about 57.26. So it can definitely continue making its way lower, but it's just tough. The only area that I kind of like shorting it off of would be like the 65. But to me, this is your number one short opportunity here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and let the world know. We're going to go ahead and short this puppy right over there. If it wants to come back and test 65, we're going to try to go short, even though the pre-market high is more so around 64.50s. We'll see if it gives us an area to go ahead and short it. And then, of course, my stop loss, we'll call it about 50 cents right above.
Here we go. Good luck, folks.
And here we go. But yeah, let's go ahead and focus in on, let's see what BABA does right out the gate. But main focus is going to be on maybe SPY. Let's see what that behaves. That's a little bit kind of in the middle of a range for me as well. I will be taking a look at options in case we see any heavy calls or puts being purchased on the Chinese names, because that is going to be a fun one to play here today.
Tesla lows right out of the open here.
Yep. Now, keep in mind, you had a bounce around 202 and 203 here. So I don't know which level to trust. Therefore, I'm not going to trust any of them. Let's go back to Baba here.
For shorts on oil names. Might get short ExxonMobil here. Just need a little bounce. It's already kind of flushing here through the 105.50s.
And you can see Baba straight on down. Interesting. You've got some activity coming into Tesla. Let me go to Tesla here real quick. Interestingly enough, they're purchasing the 230 calls on Tesla expiring November 4th. Looks like they're purchasing approximately $200,000 and more, as Tesla is just making its way to the downside. So that's a bit of a weird play. Okay.
I see a little bit more in some other strikes too, Zunaid. I got the Tesla. What these expire?
I'll try it. I'll try it here for a little fun. If it goes ahead and cracks the 303.46, I'll be out. Just an odd area to purchase, especially as it's continuing to the downside. So the spot price isn't necessarily even moving up. Let's see. Are these selling? Are they buying?
Mullen spiking here, but I'm going to stay away from Mullen. PCVX holding right under that 35 level. That broke here. Looks like this wants lower. This is extremely spready here. So just be careful if you take this. I'd actually like to see this tighten up on Papa Charlie Victor X-ray. Mullen coming off that high, didn't quite make it to 50 cents.
Went ahead and lost that quick Tesla trade. I don't think this is buying, because the options price, well, it's kind of weird because the options price did increase. The IV did not, and the spot price absolutely did not. So I'm not sure. I don't know if they were buying or not. I'd be lying if I said I did. So I have no idea. But just an odd trade. Let's go back and focus on Baba.
Exxon finding a bounce now above the pre-market high. I'm going to look for it to come back down, but right now it is getting a little bit of a squeeze here.
Mott's took out that 208 level, going for the highs here now. We have a pre-market high of 223, 224. I think that's probably next in play here. If we can start building above this 208 level, 208 bid right now. Mott holding them right here at this 210 level. They look like there's a refresh seller there at 210. So it probably needs to clear this level out here. I have a intraday, high intraday print of 214 on Mott's. Market holding up so well. Plus 200 on the Dow. Plus 11 on the SPY.
Oh, I went on a limit. Mother. I thought I was selling short market, but nope. It was at a limit. That's always cute. All right, let me go back to
Jolene. VIX is curling here out of the gate. We're still above 30, but VIX curling up here.
Oh, that's upsetting. That's upsetting. Let's check.
Mott's going here. Took out that high, going for that 224 high here on Mott's. 223 looks like is the high.
Gonna try a little bit of AMPX here, just a quick one. If it goes ahead and breaks 1078, I'll go ahead and get out. Let's see. I've got my stop loss at 1078. Looking to take profits around 1240. I might actually move it if I can.
Good volume here on MOTS. Trying to take out the highs here at 218. I'm going to try a little here.
Pre-market high 223.
If this, yeah, and if this comes back in, there's 219. There's 220. Okay, here we go. So if this comes back into 208, I'll add a little bit more. I did go reduce position size here on MOTS. MOTS, not MOTZ, Keith. MOTS. Mary, Oscar, Tango, Sandy. Stop here at 2, by the way. So I'd like to see 23 snap and pop here. That would be ideal for this particular trade.
Trying to see if oil is going to reverse here. It's still pushing through the highs here. I'm also taking a look at technology. Technology down big here out the gates. Let's start taking a look at some of the leaders. What are happening to those? Looks like Meta is the one that's getting hit the hardest here. Of course, Bank of America came in on a sell on Meta, and it's getting hit hard. It's down almost 3.3%, and TSM is down 4%. This looks interesting. TSM just leaking there. Definitely. Not somewhere where I think I want to be right now. And of course, that's probably Taiwan concerns. I've talked about that ever since Taiwan semi was at 90. It's looked like a short for me and looks like it's going to continue.
On MOTS here, there's definitely a refresh seller at 219. Looks like shorting activity to me here. So if this breaks and it pushes up, maybe there could be a bit of a squeeze action there at MOTS. But it's possible that they're not strong enough to break this and we actually sell back down. 219 cleared out now, up to 220 here. A lot of volume traded there at 219. Just about 600,000 shares.
AMPX went ahead and hit the $12 level and then came right back down 30 cents. I knew I should have taken profit at 12.
Oil stocks into the green here to begin with.
If I can, I'm going to look to close the trade on AMPX at around maybe 11.97 if I can.
Tesla bouncing here. Looks like it's trying to anyway.
That SPY bouncing, getting a little push towards the upside here. We'll see.
Higher, yep.
Taking
Apple's
it easy.
coming back up
Taking
to the
it easy. Put a little.
All right, looks like my limit was reached on AMPX, so we're going to go ahead and close that trade for profit. Trying to see if I want to go ahead and short Apple here. I'm short Apple with a stop loss of high a day, so my stop loss is going to be about 148.12 is my stop loss.
I have 148.15 is that high print.
Yep, and then I'm going to look to go some more short here if I can actually get it. Right around that. Where is it? There we go. So we start with a small size, and then we add a little bit more here. Let me go to E-Trade. Did I have my E-Trade up? Yes, I do.
Morning, Ming. Welcome. Hopefully you're having a good Monday so far.
All right, went ahead and did I purchase it? Yes, I did. The 145 puts on Apple expiring January 20th. I got filled at 860. Again, the idea is to kind of see if this 148 ends up being rejection again. And if we come on down to the VWAP of 147.27.
TCDA halted. Nice shout, Jay. Halted to the downside here on TCDA, 69 cents. Mott's back at 218.
I'm looking to short Bob off of VWAP if I can. But for now, we're only AMPX worked out for a trade. Now that one went above, and that was a beautiful one to the upside. So we're 1 for 1 today.
Mott's 220 now. Remember, 223 is what we're trying to break here. 221 now on Mott's.
Apple went ahead and took profit on the small size that we had.
Come on, pop that 223 for me.
Go.
We didn't get low enough to add, so we still have the smaller position here, but that's okay. There goes 223, 225 up now. Let's see if we get some push here on Mott's. I was hoping for more of a pop there, which is why I didn't close it right away, but we might still get some action here. I think now that it's broke that high, if we pull back to this 208 level, might stop out there as opposed to adding, just because it's already cleared out this higher area and unable to really push away from it. Really good volume here on MOTS.
On the SPY trade, we went ahead and took profits as a test of the previous close. It dipped below VWAP, and it's kind of come right. It's trying to come right back up. So we'll see how this one plays out. A lot of wicks here, to the upside and to the downside here as well. Looks like ticker HUDI is halted, and there is Tesla looking to go on down.
Let's check HUDI here real quick. HUDI, wow, big pull, halted to the downside.
Baba new lows. What a surprise. Of course, we still have our puts on Apple, as those are up a solid 1%. My first target on those would probably be around 156. Should be 146 on Apple. And you've got some Baidu 55 puts coming in, but those don't expire till like, what is that, June 16th. Meta. Let's see what Meta's doing out here. Yeah, Meta to the downside here. They're grabbing the 110s.
MOTS struggling to pick a direction here. Mitch, you're on mute. Thank you, Becca. Good morning, Becca. Thank you very much. Mitch, you were just talking to yourself on mute there, bro.
For a good 30 minutes. No worries, guys. It's all
For
good.
a good 30 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Becca saving the day. Saving the day.
I never mute myself there. That's why I normally mute myself on my mixer. But Nvidia is starting to wipe out there. You're starting to get your kind of red try now. You're getting Nvidia to crack there. SPY starting to crack. Looks like these tech stocks are starting to crack. Google looked like it wanted to break through the low. We'll see what happens if that low holds now and it reverses to the upside, or does it start breaking down? Meta is definitely weak. Pinterest is weak with it. And then Snap, of course, jumping along the way also. So those stocks definitely down big. Specialty chemicals not looking too bad today.
Pull back here on MOTS. I got the VWAP at 210, 211 on MOTS here. We're pulling back to that VWAP. We'll see if we hold it.
The old mute trick. McDonald's trying to make a little jump here.
McDonald's reporting this week, by the way.
SPY
Mott's
jumping. That's what it is. SPY
Mott's
jumping.
trying to go higher here.
SPY jumping there, guys. I like
Yep.
Google to the upside here. If I could get a little pullback to 101.50 or 101.60s.
My short on Apple has been activated, if you will. We were just up about 3-4% on those puts, but regardless, I am now short Apple at 147.95. Stop loss is going to be 148.54. Looking to take profit at 147.36.
Long Google on that pullback. I got a 101.73.
Here goes Mott's at highs. New highs on Mott's. Let's see if we can pop 230 here. I'll close it if we can pop 230.
If I get through this level, I'll look to sell out half of it on the high a day around 102.25s.
All right, selling out of Mott's here at 230. Bang, there we go. So 233
trade.
highs. So, all right, so small little win here to start on Mott's. That took a little bit longer than expected, but we did it.
Half out there, guys. I already took a little bit of profit in this move here on Google. Got it on the pullback there after it ripped with the SPY. I have Google on my radar from this morning's market structure edge. Let's see if we can get through that high now and make a move towards 102.50.
All right, we're in the green here on the Apple short. Looking to take profit at 147.36, but would not be surprised because I just wanted to go ahead and test VWAP, and you've got the previous close there as well. So I do expect it to bounce, but I'm hoping that we can be locking in some gains before it does do the bounce. And there it is, coming back down a little bit. Come on. Come on. Don't bounce just yet. Don't bounce just yet. And just to protect, I'm going to move my stop loss over here just so we don't get stopped out for too much. Come on. Let's see. There you go. Come on down. Come on down. A little volatile here.
Yeah, that was a fast move candle towards the upside there. We'll see what happens now.
Zunaid, are you still in AMPX?
Nope, got out at 1190 something.
Okay. We got a VWAP at 1195, and we got to look like an attempted break here at 1250. Buddy, what are you doing?
All right, the Apple short worked out as it bounces right from the area we talked about, the bounce on the previous close and a VWAP. So nice little short there. Whew, a little scary. Got a little scary there, but we're good on that end now. Let's go ahead and focus in on AMPX. I don't have this trade anymore. So yeah, we had bought those at 1159 and we sold at 1197 is what it was.
You guys, looks like the group is trading Mullen here. Jay, are you trading Mullen? Mullen at 50, so maybe a 50 break here on Mullen. I'm not trading this. I will not be buying this here today, but I'd be happy to watch it. A huge seller here at 50 cents. So we'll see if they can take that out here, yanking it back down from 50 cents.
I want to see if the SPY can get through the highs here. I'll be looking good in the Google trade and then starting to see some reversals out there. Tesla's at the VWAP right now. We'll see what happens there. If it starts squeezing here, but definitely showing a little bit of strength there. Oil ripping too. Oil ripping higher. I thought that oil might turn around today. Glad I didn't get in the front of that one. You're seeing XOM rip up there to 107.64, new 52-week high there. XOM ripping there. Oil markets getting a lift today. Oxy getting some push there. MRO getting some push. So if you're looking at some oil names, those are continuing today. SLB continuing today. Halliburton, PSX, not a bad one to take a look at. And also MPO or MPC. That'd be one to maybe take a look at. Still in play there. Doesn't look too bad. SPY rejecting through that 378. Let's see if it can hold here, 377s.
Forgot I had a short placed on Amazon and that one had gotten activated. So I'm going to go ahead and come back and place a stop loss on this one.
Chinese names kind of drifting lower. No huge pulls, but drifting lower here. Mullen feeling heavy around this 50-cent level.
Getting a pullback to the VWAP on Google. Got to be careful here. I want to see it hold the 101.50s. If not, just going to take it out.
I'm going to start a small position here on Bob. I went ahead and got filled on the weekly $62 puts at 336. If it goes ahead and tests a VWAP, I would be interested in grabbing some more. And now there's AMPX moving to the upside, 1254s before it gets yanked down. And if you look left, that 1250 area has been an area of resistance as of Friday during the session as well. What do I position on? There you go.
That's true. Long, hard winter coming. Just sticking with my Google right now, but hands on the trigger to get out. I already took first profits, so we'll lose a little bit of profits, but just trying to hang on here just in case the SPY breaks out here through the 378. All right, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here. SPY, can we get through that resistance? Google, I got in there, sold some at the top on that first break, trying to give it a chance to break again there, break through there, and then I could, get that next high through that. We'll see what happens now. SPY needs to break through that 378, going to 379.
Tesla has just been in this range all day, so we'll see which way it wants to break.
Yeah.
But the range has been about, what is this, 202.35 to around 206.74.
Looks like Mullen took out 50 while I was in the washroom.
There's a push there in the SPY. Will we get through the 378? Google's right by my entry now, so I'm looking to see if we can get the expansion on here. If not, I'll just take it out. There you go, looking good there on Google. Now I just need to see the SPY break through the high. What are you gonna do, SPY? When you spy with your little eyes, what's up? Tesla looks weak. Not getting it.
Buddy is trying to destroy stuff.
Yeah, you get it, buddy. Tesla looking weak there. It's trying to take out the low. All right.
Where's Tesla? Where is it? There it is.
This Google getting tough here to hold.
Mingo, you're saying noob question. No such thing as a noob question. Any question is good. I think if Tesla breaks 200, your next support is at 180. And I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Zunaid and Mitch, I'd like to hear what you guys think on this, but this is basically what I'm thinking. A break beneath 200, that round number. Next support we find here is about 180. Maybe you get a little at 190-ish, but 180 looks to be the next support.
It's the next push there. I saw Tesla reverse from the bottom there. Now let's see the SPY break through the highs, and I'll be looking good in the Google trade. I don't even mind adding if I can get back to entry and then holding VWAP here no matter what. VWAP around 101.61. Willing to add on a pullback in the 70s, but want to see this take out the 102s on Google and go through on the SPY through the 378. SPY, what you gonna do for us? To stay more in that bullish sense. What you got? Held the VWAP pullback there. Just got an alert on an H band.
Yep, I'm taking a look at H band. We're at the highs here on H band.
Yeah, just got an alert for right there. I had an alert set on this one based on the daily chart. I like the daily chart on it. Looks interesting there. H band.
At the highs here, actually doing a pretty good job staying above its VWAP and using that as support. We've actually pulled back to it once and towards it again. Neither of those have stopped the upward momentum here. So it looks like 15, you're spot on H band to the upside.
All right, looking really good here in the Google. Now it just needs the SPY just needs a little leg more for it to make that push, and then we can get out.
H-band, big break here today on that 455 break. That was a huge break. This one was not on my radar. What stock is this? Huntington Bank shares. Okay. So did they report earnings this morning? No. No, it was last week on Friday.
I'm going to try a short on Amazon here. 120 puts expiring January 20th. Got filled at 10:06.
Nice little push there in the SPY. Will we get through it? It keeps rejecting around this 378.18s. If not, I might just take my profits and run here in Google.
Tom, you have a cat. Tom, you have a
good.
cat named Buddy too, and he makes trading hard for you. Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. Hopefully he goes and takes a nap soon.
All right, you've got BABA $55 puts coming in on the ass, but this is a small speculative flow is what it seems like, expiring this week, approximately $14,000 worth. Let's check out our BABA puts. How are they doing? Yep, BABA puts are up a solid 13%. What up, doe?
That continues to sell off, Zunaid. Good stuff there.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, we've got our Amazon puts on deck as well. Currently down about a penny there. Ugh.
MOTS, your spot here is going to be 235. Pretty big spot on MOTS if this gets going here again. Looks like we're trying to pull back towards the VWAP. Didn't quite get there. Looks like we're trying to curl back towards those highs. No position at this time.
Let's see what Tesla's doing. All
right, taking my shot here. I actually added, so I'm up towards 101.80s here. I'm going to hold towards 101.70 on Google. Going to give it the chance to break out here. If it doesn't want to go, I'm just going to get out. I had to add because I felt like I was in this position now for too long, and it's more long go or no go for me. We'll see what happens.
All right, those BABA puts that we got, I'm going to go ahead and sell 3/4 of them. Up 20%, so we're going to lock in them gains. Let's see if I can go ahead and close this one out for $4. Close them out. We got these at 336. Close them at 4. Stop loss has been moved to 350s. Or excuse me, to break even, 336. Let's go back to Amazon, see what that's doing. There's Amazon rejecting VWAP, coming to the downside.
Pretty much a break-even trade there on the Google trade. I tried to give myself a shot there to make a good gain there. Was able to take first profits added to there. Took a little bit of a hit there on that pullback. I'm out of the trade though, and we'll see what happens here now on the SPY. Too much rejection there on the 378.
Mott's at 235 again here. We'll see if it can actually take this high a day break. I'm not going to play it because they've been yanking them. So we popped 3 cents there on Mott's as we took that out. Better to play the curls here on Mott's. So let's talk about that here real quick. We talked about this not being, or we talked about these curls being more in favor than the high a day breaks. So let's take a look here and see what we're talking about. So first of all, we had 223 identified as a spot from the pre-market. We broke that. That gave us a pretty good trade. We actually closed that at 232. This started to pull back here. It actually used this 223 as a support. So pretty awesome entry there if you're able to get back at 223. The yank towards the VWAP did not even get back to the VWAP. Buyers stepped in, volume expanded, so good entry there. We ended up taking out 235. Now we're at 238. We'll see if we go any higher here. I'm not in it for the second leg, but a nice little setup here on MOTS. We're able to get something even on a day where there's not a whole lot going on.
SPY just hanging on here. It's either going to break through 378 and we'll get some continuation, or we'll probably get a turnaround here and then we'll start getting hit. There's definitely a battle right here at 378. Let's see what happens on, let's say, like a 5 or 10 minute. Can you get a close above that 378?
Market tried to pop here out of the open, but looks like it's feeling a little heavy here. It'll be interesting to see if we do that reversal at 10:30.
I'm going to try a quick short here on Apple.
I'm sorry.
You're good. Apple, I'm short at, what is this? 148.15. Stop loss will be high a day. looking to take profits around 147.84. And of course, we're up about $35 per contract on our Amazons.
There's a SPY looking like it's starting to crack a little bit.
I'm going to... Oh, never
There's
mind.
a
I was gonna
SPY
move
right
it,
back to
but
VWAP.
never mind. All right, there's the money on Apple. That trade working out.
IMUX trying to break its trend here. We've been in a, after it gapped down, we've been in a pretty nasty trend here. It's trying to pop, but not enough yet.
There comes the SPY coming in red now. I want to see if it will recover 377. If not, you look like you're starting to leak out there in the SPY. We can start looking for maybe what sectors and industries will get into the red or get into the green with this type of move. You see leading today, communication services, health care, and defensives. Defensives is where I can see maybe catching a bounce here. I'm going to look for some of these defensive names and maybe see if they can catch a bounce.
Excuse me.
Walmart having a good day. Costco, Target, those are the type of names. DG, Dollar Tree catching a little bit of a bounce. We'll see what happens there. BJ, they're all on the VWAP here. So let's see if any of these kind of catch a bounce here. Soft drinks, also Pepsi is in play. Coke, right? These are going to be reporting sooner or later. They're having a really good day already. So just be careful there. Already pushing. Tobacco is wacko, but might move up.
Amazon bouncing from low a day. It made a slight wick below, but you can see this is a range that it's been so far in the 30 minutes.
Market reversing here. And VIX climbing.
Yeah,
see if this holds.
The SPY starting to crack for sure.
PCVX doing a decent job holding its VWAP. Haven't taken a stab at this yet.
What is that background noise?
What?
What background noise do you hear? Usually it's me, but what background noise do you hear?
I hear like some like whistling noise. It's like a air whistling kind of noise. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just me. I'm hearing things, guys. I'm hearing.
Did it go away when I muted my mic?
Yeah.
I think it's the landscapers outside.
No worries. Grass. Not a big deal, man.
I can
how far out did I go on my... Sorry, give me a sec. How far out did I go on my Apple puts? I went out all the way to January 20th. 145 puts. Pattern. And my Amazons were out to January 20th. 120 puts. Those are up 4%. And they're up about $60 per contract. As you can see, Amazon is starting to move its way to the downside. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of at least half of my size here. Excuse me one moment. All right, lock in those gains.
Lisa, you are correct. It is a leaf blower. They are clearing the fall leaves that have started to fall here in Chicago. So I'll keep it muted until they quiet it down.
A lot of names in the red today and just cracking on. So just be careful out there. I think Tesla already cracked. Let's see. There's that crack there on Tesla. There's the downside action coming in there.
You want to talk about Tesla and answer this question since you're covering it?
What was the question?
So the question is, you're fine. Yeah, you're good. Mingo, would Tesla be a good example to trade on around this range because they are floating around that long time support line, or would that be a bit too risky? And I can go ahead and answer this after you. Or by the way, we do have Tesla for a $200 call is coming in on the ask, expiring November 18th, about $250,000 worth.
So what you're saying is at the end of the day, what you want to be looking at is your risk to reward. No trade is a dumb trade. The dumb trades, I think, would be trades that you're risking more money than you're going to probably make on the trade. And that, to me, seems more like a dumb trade. But essentially, there is no dumb trade as long as you can understand your risk to reward. Now, what is more probable? That's a better question, right? And so probable there, what we use sometimes for a stock like this is using that VWAP. And if you're trying to short off that VWAP, you got to use the resistance above as your risk level. Well, in that case, it could have been towards maybe 206.55 or 206.50s. That's what you would have to have used, but you were shorting somewhere around, let's say, 205.20s or 205.30s. Still risking a significant amount over a point there on Tesla. Doesn't mean that it's a bad trade, but you just always got to understand your risk to return. That's what we're always trying to keep in mind.
They just took a break. Eric, no, they're not coming to cut the internet. They're just trying to clean up leaves.
Trying to cut the internet.
Hey, man, that's happened. That's happened more times than I want to admit, and it's a real problem. So I'm glad that's not what they're here for today. I don't think that leaf blower is going to do much. But if he starts it up again, I'll mute.
Whew. Tech names getting drilled. That's for sure. Look at that TSM down move. This is why I don't want to own TSM. This is it. This is why I've been calling short since 90 on TSM. I just wish I would have done a long-term put. Because, man, ever since then, it was going up when all the Taiwan mentions about China maybe invading, it was moving up. And I was like, how the hell is this moving up? It was the same thing for a firm, right? It was moving up there towards 40. Those are usually the good shorts. That's still looking weak today. Looking like it wants to break. SPY, let's see where we're at now. I think we get to maybe around 370 if we really start breaking down, but I don't think we're going to go down all the way, like a big breakdown. It's just more along. There's still uncertainty. We need some earnings reports to kind of keep the markets up if we're going to have a good day.
Yeah, this is remember, this is what we called at the beginning here. We wanted to see if the market was going to reverse and how some of these names were trading. Props to you, Zunaid. I thought we might get a bounce in some of these China names. No, your short out of the gate has been perfect. BABA down a whopping 16+% here today. That's not like a small cap stock. That's not just like some $1 or $2 stock. BABA, huge name here, down big. JD also down pretty big here today, down 18.6% on JD. So
yeah, appreciate that.
I think some of these got to bleed into the regular market. Sorry, Zunaid.
You're good. You're good. We went ahead and covered our BABA puts. Majority of them here at $60, and of course the rest we're gonna have a break even. And yeah, it just whenever I've learned that whenever I look back and review charts of what trades I could have taken, it's like bad news, especially when it comes to fear in Chinese names and things like that, usually continues its way to the downside. And of course, it's all about risk reward that Mitch has also mentioned earlier, answering someone else's question here. By the way, AMPX still kind of within that range after it popped, possibly going to make a flag here, then move to the upside, TBD. But there is a range that it's currently in. There is that. Tesla went out and cracked slightly below, but did not close a 5-minute candle below that. Or excuse me, it did, but now it's popping back up in that range that we talked about earlier. And then, of course, we're short Amazon, which is nice little move to the downside. Might bounce from the 118 possibly.
Wow.
Oh, this is interesting. You've got AMD $55 puts coming, excuse me, $55 calls coming in on the ask, expiring this week, about $340,000 worth. So AMD should be getting a little bit of a bounce. Very minor one. Nothing too crazy. If they come back and purchase these, that could be interesting for a playback to VWAP, but I'm going to stick to the shorts that I already have because I've already got a good risk reward. And there's Amazon cracking the 118 to the downside. Just got my Google crossing the $100, or excuse me, it's approaching the $100 level. The puts that we got on Amazon at the what did I purchase this at? 1006 are now going for about 1090s. I've got a sell order here at 11s. And Ryan, I don't have much luck with those, so I'm just going to go ahead and sell right here at 1090s. There's the ding if you heard it. I'm out at 1092. Some more contracts. Just have one left on Amazon. And those Apple puts that we purchased at 860 are up here 6% at 905. And dude, my fire alarm is going off, if you will. And that just means these are my profit targets that I was waiting for. So I'm going to go ahead and close out some of these apples here as well.
I'm still here, but the leaf blower is going crazy.
No worries. Gal was asking about NIO and XPing. I think it's what you're seeing is the demand destruction, right? The demand destruction that the government themselves have created in China. And I think that that's what we're seeing to another level, and they don't expect anything changing. that's also the focus here. And that's why you're seeing these stocks take another leg down when they were already down big in China earlier today, right? It's not like they weren't opened and trading. These companies have already taken a huge hit in the of course, in China markets and the other markets, but you're seeing them still take another hit here. Just shows how much the worry is in China. And that some people were probably keeping some money in there thinking that maybe the emerging markets would be the ones that would show up a little bit of strength in the first run. And that's exactly what you're probably seeing today is those investors running for the hill as they see these stocks just continue getting pounded.
I'm going to go ahead and close some more Amazon here at 1090s. I got filled on the market at 1093. Reason being because now the risk reward to me isn't necessarily as great. So I want to lock in all the gains I possibly can. But if it wants to come back to VWAP or this area here, I'd be interested in going short once again. But for now, I am all out of Amazon. And let me go ahead and check on my Apple trade here. Looks like I sold majority at 910. And the rest I'm going to hold till break even. And there's Google bouncing from the 100-hour level. Nice little 30-cent move thus far.
ENSV making a move to the highs here. Didn't have this doing a really good job. Let me bring it up here. Doing a really good job staying above its VWAP, and pulls to the VWAP have been good buys here so far. This has not been on my radar, but I'll watch this on another pullback here to the VWAP for entry. ENSV. This is one we've traded before. I'm sorry about the leaf blower outside.
Oh, good.
He's shutting it down, I think. That's a handheld one now.
AMD down there. It's almost to the levels. Let's say underneath 50. We get excited. We're almost there, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, and AMD, don't forget, they had those call options, $55 calls, which is in the money, expiring this week. They went ahead and did come back and purchase, so they now have about $600,000 worth of transaction there. I cannot see if it's a buy or not. It's a little unclear to me. But AMD is moving to the upside, so let that tell a story if you'd like.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Ryan's Hoover in the background.
Oh, I heard it that time. It's
Hoover
kind of
back.
soothing. There's the rejection off of the $100.50 on. Look at that nice bounce. Let me go ahead. Nice
It's the first day of it. It's crazy this morning. I'm so sorry, folks.
I'm just glad because usually when there's noises, it's like me, it's my music in the background, it's something.
Yeah, we could deal with it, man. It's not too bad.
Yeah,
Solar.
It's a nice calming voice.
The issue is that right outside my office my office window is a gigantic tree that's losing all of its leaves. So the guy with the industrial sized leaf blower
trying to help out,
the lawnmower, is just circling it, and it's loud.
He's just trying to blow it to the neighbor's lawn. You
Let's
know how
see
you
if I
do
can
it.
just
Just blowing it to the neighbor's lawn.
write that down.
VWAP, WAP. VWAP City. We're gonna make a song, Zunaid. VWAP City.
I think I could be decent at rapping, but I'd need a ghostwriter. I think I can find the rhythm and the beat, but I'd need a ghostwriter.
We're gonna have to get the first ever VWAP song put out there. Zunaid, we're gonna talk to some artists. I know we got some connects.
Zunaid rapping, and Zunaid, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it reminds me of the current commercial right now for Corona with Snoop Dogg and the other guy that says he's got strong knees and he wants to see his lawn freeze. He's going to eat Guam cheese. It seems like if you were rapping, though, you'd have lyrics similar to that.
I probably would. Like I said, I think I could get the rhythm down. I would just need a ghostwriter. Man, AMD, ever since those purchases came in, it's been kind of moving to the upside. What is that? How big of a move is this? About 50-cent move to the upside. almost 1%. I'm bored, so I'm just testing a little short here on Google. Wasting $50.
Is Zunaid releasing a diss track?
I don't even know who I would diss in my
I don't
track.
know. I don't know either. Maybe a 2K opponent or something like that, but that would be hilarious.
You know what? I do know. I can't say it, but I do know. Just because you mentioned
Oh.
because you mentioned 2K, I thought of somebody. But
I was
yeah.
just spitballing. I mean,
No, you nailed it.
by the way, PCVX here holding its VWAP so far today. Let me bring this up here. PCVX. Bring up my screen.
I could
here.
curse
So
out AB. That's solid.
you can see PCVX really kind of holding above its VWAP. We've got a couple of yanks back to the VWAP. The interesting thing here will be, does this snap or does this actually bounce off of the VWAP? I have no indication yet. That's kind of what I'm waiting for here. My gut, if I had to guess right now, my gut would be that we actually break down and then attack this 38.88 level. By the way, real quickly, a huge shout out to our development team here at Benzinga. We released a huge update for Benzinga Pro last week. And one of the functions in there is actually called flight mode. So this is the main screen that you see me working on every day. Flight mode is this little paper airplane, and it just kind of hides some of the settings at the top of the tool. So you can see down here on my signals tool how much more content I'm able to get simply by hiding this. I have this enabled on all of the tools so I can focus on the data and maximize my screen real estate. Andy, if your chart's not working, what you should do is log out and log back in using the log out function. So click on the profile in the upper right corner and select log out and then log back in. The new version required a log out and it didn't log every customer out. So you have to do it on your own in order to reset that. But that should resolve your issue.
All right,
Speaking of
guys.
which,
I'm short LRCX, and this is going to be more of a swing to the short side. And this is LRCX, and the reason it's a swing to the short side, it's a high expensive stock. I don't want to take too big of a share size here, but I do think it could bounce a little bit towards 371.60s. But this is more of an hourly look short, right? It's been holding up. It's had a big run, had earnings, a bunch of different stocks also reported. They gave it some lift, and now I think it could come right back down. I'm actually pretty short bearish outlook in this semiconductor equipment materials. A lot of it because of the battles with China and the U.S., but off of the 372.88, a little swing short side here on Lamb Research toward the short side. We'll see what happens. 367.95 is the entry. All right, going to you, Zunaid.
Well, so for right now, I'm just trying to test out a little theory on the 200. I'm going to see if I can take a little Tesla trade here on E-Trade as well on the options side. Oh, hell no, those expensive as hell. Yeah, never mind. These options aren't it for me right now. Not going to trade that. Let me go ahead and move back. My Apple trade, by the way, the ones that we went ahead and sold at 910. They're right back at 910. We got into these a little bit earlier. I think I'm short something else, aren't I? I'm short Google and I'm short Baba. So we got a few positions on right now. Long Tesla for a point if we can get it one way or another. Short Google and short Baba here as well. I'm just going to go ahead and sell this Apple.
PCVX, it's trying to hang on here, but I think that this breaks down.
SPY still barely green.
Yeah,
SPY's trying to hang in here too, but it looks weak. Tesla approaching that 200 level that we talked about earlier here today.
Yeah, it's there right now. I just moved my stop loss up to 199.83. If it wicks it out, that's cool. Yeah, don't really care, but Google's coming back up. Oh my.
And Jay Rice, pretty spot on here. NEO and XPEV RIP. Neo. Neo was at $11 at the close Friday. It's currently at 8.5.
Look at this Chinese
XBEB,
semiconductor.
same deal.
There's a Chinese semiconductor company that is just getting destroyed. DQ. Look at DQ.
DQ down 14% here. A lot, like we said about a lot of these China names.
Ouch.
Mitch, you think that bleeds into some of these earnings reports that we have this week, like Apple, which has exposure to China?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot, right? I mean, it might not be the biggest effect on this earnings report, but the next one, right? Forward guidance. That's what you would be looking out for, right? If they start saying, well, due to macro headwinds in China, we expect such and such. Those are the kind of things you're going to be looking for in earning reports.
Real quick on Baba, Z short. I'm going Hail Mary. All right, to the long side. Well, I hope it's not on Baba because that trade went ahead and got successful there. We went ahead and shorted at 60.05, filled at 59.55. So that trade worked out well for us. Here's Google, almost went ahead and nicked us out, but here we are about just a little ways away, and there's the fill on Google to the downside. Now, the risk reward on this one was not great. I'm not going to lie to you, but the reason I moved up my take profit is simply because in front of that $100 I want it to be. So that trade has worked out as well to the short. So hopefully those you didn't take to the long side, but if you did, I absolutely wish you the best of luck. And there's Amazon cracking down below.
Next
I am
leg
no longer
lower here, I think.
in Amazon. What did you say?
I think we're going to do our next leg lower here. It looks like in the S&P.
Looking
Let's
good
check
so
out the
far.
SPY.
And
Looked
that
at the SPY
Lamb
today.
research. Lamb research looking good already. We'll see if we get a bounce there or not.
You're getting $50 puts on Baba now, expiring this week for 28 cents. Approximately $30,000 with oh my baby.
Yeah, Baba, did it hit the all-time low? Let me see here.
Now all-time low is a bit lower.
57.20. We're almost there. We're almost there. I mean,
so that's where you can go
57.20.
ahead and expect a little bit of a bounce, right? And then you can kind of go short above that, or excuse me, below that. I'm going to try a short here on SPY. Just 2 contracts because I'm nice and green today. I don't want to give it all up. But I got filled on the 374 puts expiring January 20th. I got filled at 1906 on both of them. Let's go ahead and kind of put this short. Let's see.
So the reason why I brought up DQ is that I'm looking at from the change from the open, and that is one of the leading ones from the open. I know Baba's down more overall, but that's why I was looking at DQ, because from the open, that one's down more. So pretty much, what does that mean? That it's lagging behind some of the leaders like Baba.
Oh, man. The SPY puts immediately working. Now they're trading for about 1934, which is up about, what is that, $30 per contract. Like I said, I only have 2, so I'm not going to sell it here. I'm going to be a little bit patient to see if I can get my areas. I actually don't even know where I'd want to sell this puppy.
The best one, I think, overall, just based on the daily charts, and it had kind of set up for the bigger short, was probably PDD, and that one's the biggest one down, right? Overall,
PDD down 33.5%.
33%, right? And that's just because of the daily chart. That's the setup on the daily chart. It was up higher than, of course, the April and May, June lows compared to Baba, which was already flushed through it. JD was also a little bit closer towards those lows, but PDD was way off of those lows. So it's looking like it's trying to make its way. I think PDD still has more room to fall. Could get to 33s, could get even to 25 today. So there's still a lot more, I think, for PDD than any of the other ones.
My next spots here on PDD, Mitch, are going to be 36 and 32.50. And then beneath that, we got...
Wow. Tesla's getting flushed,
23.
guys. We're through the 200.
Sure is.
I think this is all on investors betting that they think that Elon's going to sell some more shares. This has nothing to do, I think, with Tesla overall. I think if you are looking at it like that, maybe you're thinking demand in China, right? They lowered the price down of their vehicles in China today. But I think this has more to do with everyone thinking that we're going to get an Elon sell of shares. And then at least maybe this is the good thing, because maybe it's already pricing it in, right? Maybe it won't go down too much after he releases that news if it comes out. So I'll see what happens in Tesla. It's going to be an interesting stock to watch going into next year. Will we be closer to 160 or closer towards, let's say, 250s? It's going to have to be something to find out.
CWeb, by the way, that China levered internet ETF, things down almost 40% today. Yikes.
SPY coming back up a little bit here.
Surgical. It's not too bad. ISRG. Healthcare is taking a little bit of a pullback here. Was in the green. We'll see if it catches a bounce.
JD seeing some puts as well, but they're kind of sprinkled all over.
Sam Singh saying, hey, Ryan, do you mind telling me how to use the day trading tool in Pro? I'm new to Benzinga. Sure. Welcome. I went ahead and dropped my email in the chat. Go ahead and send me an email and we can work through that. Be happy to help you. Welcome to the community.
And speaking of which, make sure you guys check out. Matter of fact, here, let me make sure I don't get fired. Hang on a second.
Make sure I don't get fired. We don't want Zunaid to get fired.
You don't. So I'm going to need everyone's help here as soon as I can go ahead and get this link here. Awesome. We mentioned this before, but you have Humble Trader that's doing a webinar with Ryan over her tips and tricks on trading, but also what Ryan likes to use in terms of Benzinga Pro and how Humble Trader uses Benzinga Pro as well. So make sure you guys click on that link, set a remind me. And then, of course, if you do have Twitter, we would absolutely love a little bit of a retweet or some type of engagement on this post right over here. But there are the details on there as well. It'll be this Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys block off any time there and check out the webinar. We worked hard to kind of put this together. Humble Trader has over 900,000 subscribers on YouTube. So definitely a very well known and also a very kind human being if you've watched her YouTube shows.
And she's a great trader, by the way. And we're going to go over tips for how to use Benzinga Pro. She has an entirely different trading style than myself, which means that the tips should be far-reaching. It's going to be really awesome stuff. I'm really looking forward to that webinar. We've done webinars with her before. She's great.
So make sure you guys go ahead and click the remind me on that, block it off, put it on your iCal, whatever the case may be, and engage with that tweet if you could. That would be great.
All right,
but here
guys,
we go. Coming back. What's up?
Long CVS, didn't want to interrupt there, but long CVS 94.36 looking good here for me. Was watching this. I saw healthcare has pulled back. I talked about ELV earlier. That one's off of VWAP also. Was looking at UNH as an option, but I went with the CVS. Now we're already getting that pop already towards 94.50s. Want to see if we can get to 94.75. That's where I'll take first profit. Even in the 60s, we can take a little bit off, and then we'll look to see if this can really run. Original entry 94.36. Let's see if this can get up there.
Jay Rice saying pretty much everything in the EV space here rolling over. And that's not just the car companies. We already talked about Tesla, NIO, XPEV, Rivian, Lucid also selling off here, but also some of the charging infrastructure here. Blink charging, that's BLNK, that's at lows here. Same with ChargePoint. So this has been one of the hot sectors and themes this year and also recently. Looks like it's giving back a lot of gains here. It'll be interesting to see where this finds a bottom. Jay, I'd like to know what you're looking for taking these to the long side, or if you're still just short them all.
Half out there on 94.62 there. Now already towards 94.75. Getting a good lift here in CVS now.
PCVX looks like it's trying to break down here. ENSV still needs to get over that 245 to get rolling. PCVX did find some support around that 33.88, but really having trouble pushing away and reclaiming the VWAP.
The short that we had on the SPY at 1906, it went all the way up to the 1950s, but of course we did not sell. So now we go ahead and get stopped out at 1869. But we are short here on Google. Short at the 136 area with the stop loss at 158, taking profits at 110 if we can get it. Let's see which way this one happens to go for us. And of course, SPY comes right back down. Lovely. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right, we're at 10:30 here. We'll keep battling like always. We're seeing some little bounce here. We'll see if this can continue. SPY right now is just battling lower, but it's not like a fall off the tape, right? I feel like this is kind of a okay pullback, especially for seeing the way that these China names are getting hit, right? I mean, we should be down more with all these China names getting hit as big as they are right now. I wonder what's holding us up, especially with a name like Tesla, almost down 7% today.
It's Snapchat, Mitch. That's what's holding us up, apparently, because that keeps getting called by. They're buying the 850 calls now, expiring this week. They went ahead and purchased. Oh, my goodness. This is all right. Hang on.
This might actually turn Meta into the green. Look at Meta just slight above the VWAP. That actually might turn it green. Just all that push might turn Meta green, might turn Google green.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on into Snapchat, but they're just buying these $8.50 calls expiring this week in the amounts of about $200,000. So I'm not sure what's going on, but Snapchat nonstop to the upside. Missed this trade, but we're going to leave it alone as you've got the market bouncing here as well. I was short Tesla. That's probably going to get stopped out here in a minute. Google got stopped out as well.
Wonder if this is short covering.
I mean, probably is, but
like, what's fueling the first move, you know?
Yeah, and it also could just be like one person that just got caught.
Huge move through the VWAP on Snap.
Mm-hmm.
This is why if you were shorting on Friday Snap and you left it like there to like play continued downside, this is how you can get your face ripped.
Interesting here, Jay. I appreciate this. Ryan, the cost savings on EV versus gas is flat now. Inconvenience of charge weights. I'm not buying any of them. EV trade over for a while, in my opinion. That's a nice little call there.
I mean, of course, let's just be honest. Recession, right? I mean, no cars should be on your radar. No cars. Whether they're EVs worse because they're more expensive, right? I mean, let's just be honest.
And Jay's outlining an inconvenience of having to, wait to charge that. I think the hurricane probably bled into that too. Lots of Tesla owners unable to drive their cars. No, the webinar, Ron, we do everything in Eastern time. And as Zunaid said, that webinar is 2 p.m. Eastern. So I'm guessing if you're seeing 11 a.m., it's because you're on Pacific time.
Yeah, which then for you is 11 a.m., but it'll be 2 p.m.
Anytime Benzinga gives you is going to be an Eastern time.
Let's see what's happening here.
O'Reilly's spiking today. So
car repair, I think, is the way to go as people kind of, reduce their spending.
Look at AZO. Look at these companies. They are ripping right now. And so that gives you the insight of where you should maybe be looking, right? So use car parts, having a big push. O'Reilly, ORLY. Look at these stocks. They're pushing today. These are higher price names, so it gets takes a long time to get AZO moving 3% there. So big push.
Not a whole lot on the scanner here today as we roll over.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have this battle with whether recession is already gone or it's coming. And I think at the end of the day, what I keep seeing out in like just spending and spending habits, recession still hasn't truly hit. Recession hasn't hit. And so that shows me more and more worries for it down the line, what's to come.
ENSV at 250 here.
Yeah, electricity costs going way up. I would agree with that. Are those utilities finally catching some push? Had a little bounce today in those utility names. CVS is still looking great for me. It's battling here. Let's see where it can get to the next level. I'm waiting for it to get through that 95. And then, well, as we get towards the highs around 95, 10s, we can just take the rest of it off. But it's been a good trade for me. Let's just see if I can get this last little push here.
Google approaching 95.
Google approaching 101s. Okay. There's a little push. Let's see if I can get it through here. 95. Come on. Let's put out an order right above it.
I'm going to try to short Google here. I went ahead and purchased the January 20th $100 puts expiring January 20th. 681 is my fill.
ENSV going to make another attempt here at 250. PCVX trying to hold that 33 handle and bounce here through 35. PCVX. Papa Charlie Victor X-ray. This is Vaxite. This had the proof of concept news here this morning. So we're holding that 33.88 level, and we're crossing back through the VWAP. Really would need to take out 36 here to get going. 38, your pre-market high.
Yeah, I mean, that extra can only survive for so long, right? I mean, eventually the consumer has to get strapped. And one thing that I've been noticing, and I was asking my wife, is she was telling me she was seeing the prices in the grocery store continuing to rise. You know, there's one thing where there's at some point where we expect to see some slowdown in the rising in costs, right? We can't just continue this battle. That's where I feel like some people are more worried about the stock market than our overall well-being, because I mean, our overall well-being depends on inflation coming back down. If it never comes back down, we're screwed for the long run. And that we can't be a part of. That's for sure.
I don't know what's going on Snapchat, but you've got $9 calls now coming in on the ask. But this one, not as heavy buying, maybe about 40, 50,000, if even that. Nothing too crazy on that one.
Are they the cheapies, Zunaid?
Yeah, they're about 37 cents. They purchased,
Okay,
let's see, 1, 2, that's about $23,000 worth on the $9 calls. Where's my short on Google? There's my short on Google. And of course, I've got the puts as well.
Looking for that last little run. I have an order out for CVS to get out there at 95.10s. But just looking for a quick spike into 95.10s and then get out. $94.97. See if we get that spike fill. Come on. Get through that 95. And so this is a healthcare plan outlook. Look at the sector, very similar to the chart of CVS, right? That's what you want to be looking for. Does the patterns kind of make a similar match? That's going to show us that we can look at multiple names here. We don't have to only look at one. ELV was one that I told you we're right off the VWAP. We're looking for that to push. That got the bounce there. CNC, nice little bounce off VWAP. HUM, nice little bounce. Support, right? Going right back up. That's what you're looking for. CVS was clean too. I went after that one. UNH. Let's see if that can get through the highs. That was it off a similar support. A lot of wicks. Wicks are tricks. Remember that. CI,
stopped out Google.
Cigna. We'll see if that makes the next move.
ENSV pull back towards the VWAP here.
Closing out on the puts as well.
All right. Battle type of day. Stagflation is what we need to avoid. Cannot have stagflation. That
actually
destroy us.
Sydney Rel, a good call here, especially if we curl up and take out that 23.63. Holding its VWAP here. Maybe this will make another move back towards the top. What's going on with REL here today?
Come on, CVS.
Engineering Power Solutions. Interesting.
Come on, CVS. Get on up. Get up now.
Not
Get
seeing what's
on up.
driving this here. Interesting chart formation here on REL.
Oil sticking around today, guys. Sticking around for the play, and it's held. It did a nice pullback, held on that Exxon Mobil. Still trying to push there. So we'll see what happens on those names. Exxon Mobil not having a bad day there. GSX, Halliburton. There you go. They're trying to make another leg there. Like
KLXC we had on the list a couple of days ago.
Oof.
Wednesday night, we had KLXC on the list. It's higher here. Interesting.
All right, CVS, come on. Let's get through it. Yeah, and the battle that we're going to have, I agree with you, MD, is not only that when inflation starts coming back down, how long will it take to get those prices to actually come down, right? It's going to take a lot of deflationary effects. What does that mean? Well, a lot of demand destruction, a lot of people not willing to buy the products, eventually causing inventory spikes, supply spikes. Then we can get this whole inventory discount. But it's going to take a long time for us to see the changing in price, especially, let's say, like in the grocery stores. Even if inflation comes down, it'll take months, maybe even a year after that for us to really see some change. It's going to be tough. CVS not wanting to give that 95 push here, so I'm just going to hang on right now. Definitely will not let this become a red trade. That's a 94.36 exit. It got up there. It was really close. I mean, maybe I could have taken 94, but I think we still get that push to 95. I'm just going to hang on for right now. SPY overall finally finding that bounce. Will it just reject this 376 and come right back down? The China names are finally starting to get a little bit of a bounce. It looks like Baba made a bottom there at 58. You can look for maybe PDD. I'd look for maybe that one to do a VWAP fade, but these other ones, they might be a little bit too far down. We'll see if these actually bounce here, or will they get a little push through the VWAP.
Nice trade, Mike, on the snap calls. In at 72 cents, out at 133 on 10 contracts. Nice little job there on snap, playing that on the bounce. Just goes to show you don't need to nail the bottom and the top of that move. You can still have a nice little trade in there.
You just want a piece of the pie. You don't want the whole
nice
pie.
job. Nice job.
Yeah,
that's how it's done.
Definitely.
Real quick, let me put up the trade station here. I'm going to hop off here in a minute, but you've got, we had a short on SPY at the 375.81 as it was approaching VWAP, and the stop loss you can see right there on my screen as well. Right now, we've already met our 1-to-1, right? But I'm being greedy. I'm going for like a 2.5 or so, or 2.25 to 1, if you will, in terms of risk reward. So my take profit is going to be at this 374.57, which we're almost at here. We're about maybe 20, 30 cents away from it. Hopefully I go ahead and get that one, but I'm going to walk away, get some steps in, get some water in. Matter of fact, I went ahead and finally found this little bad boy. So filled the water up. So I'm going to look to catch up because I haven't had any sip of water here and I need to chug some in a moment. But I'll be back for futures trading though. So make sure you guys stay on and hang on, and we'll do some futures trading with Jim Cagnina from Ninja Trader. And let's see if this SPY gives me the levels to take profits or what it does. But appreciate you, gentlemen. And I'll see you. Oh, wait. I'll wait till Mitch is back before I leave.
I'm back.
All good.
All right, cool. Sweet. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Take care of yourself, Zunaid. Good stuff there this morning.
Appreciate you. Bye.
Later. We'll see you in a little bit in the future. The future's action, that is. Let's go ahead. We'll take a look at the markets to see. Let's take a look here. What's getting hit the most in the S&P 500 today? What's getting hit hard? Estee Lauder, right? I mean, more like Estee Slaughter. today as it's getting hit on the downside.
I like that, Mitch.
You like that
no one
one?
else might laugh, but I thought that was good. Good job.
Yeah, it's getting slaughtered all right. I'll tell you one thing. You won't find me shopping in that store. A little too high end for me and a little too pricey. But, hey, we're definitely taking a hit there. And it's looking like it's a lot of companies. Starbucks finally falling off the wagon. Finally, I can look for my short in Starbucks. I'm going to keep this one on my radar. Been waiting for this one to really break through this trend line. We got that one day where I even got stopped out on this day, and look, finally starting to break through. So we'll see if we get some continuation in the next couple of days in Starbucks to the downside. Another one getting hit hard, Bath and Body Works. One thing that I will say this is the wife gives me the insight. They've been putting out sales and sales and sales and sales. Usually not a good sign when a company needs to kind of keep giving discounts to try to get customers in. It looks like I'd be careful about BBWI's earnings report as it's starting to come down. Tesla down 6.3%. Definitely one of the biggest, hardest hit stocks today. Wynn Resorts down about 7.87%. LVS down about 13.49, almost 13.5%. There it is. And this was one that got a pop, remember, short while ago. So you just got to be careful with those catalysts. Yeah, they had good pops. Everyone was like looking at them. But look how easy of an opportunity that was for a short. That was a good opportunity there as these stocks are
same with
crushed.
Wynn and Melco, MLCO, same deal.
Mm-hmm. And so definitely we saw stocks getting hit hard today. Technology stocks leading the way on the downside. Also consumer cyclical. They're both down pretty big. Cyclical is down a little bit bigger. And so you can see what's getting hit there. Resort and casino, a lot of those connections with the China stocks, right? Specialty retail. That's where you're going to go ahead and find your kind of PDD, your higher cap BABA, right? JD. That's why those are getting killed. And so if you're wondering why consumer cyclical is down so big, a lot of it is the auto manufacturers also. China stocks. You're seeing the trend there. They're dragging the market that even though it looks like we were going towards the upside, all these negative stocks, these bigger stocks dragging us down is not helping the play here. Leisure stocks also down big. I saw the cruise lines is down big. This TCOM, Trip.com, look at that. It's getting just pounded. A lot of this probably has to do with some China exposure. Just complete destruction out there. RCL actually looks interesting for a short here as it's pulling back. NCLH also, I'd be looking for maybe potentially some shorts coming into play here with these stocks pulling back so fast today. We'll see what else is going on.
Airlines down too, but not as much as some of those that you just outlined.
Yeah, the airline's holding on a little bit more. I think their earnings report is what helps them. But we'll see what happens when we get some of the cruise lines to report. That should be interesting. Of course, we got a lot going on this week. There's the calendar that we could take a look at. Tonight, there'll be some wrong calendar here. That's October 17th. I got you here. This is the 24th one. Just forgot to upload it. There it is. All right, Logitech tonight. Discover tonight. Definitely take a look at some of those reports. UPS, GM, Coca-Cola, 3M tomorrow. Some of these kind of where you would think, let's say value plays, right? Take a look there. Coke, not a bad one on the day, right? Defensive stock. We were taking a look at it there. Just taking a look at CVS. Just keeping an eye on this trade. It's pulled back, but it's held the VWAP right now. I'm just going to keep staying in there for right now. And LCRX still in that one. Want that one to just completely break down. Could have added there at the VWAP. I even talked about I thought this could hit VWAP and then fade down. So I'm just going to let this now work. Anything that closes above 370 to see 371, I'll get out. But if this can really break down, this is looking good for me here. CVS will need that to really kind of break out through there. Healthcare names and defensive is what I was looking at. Beverages, software, soft drinks. Look at Coke. Coke actually running a little bit into the earnings report. Why? Because Pepsi's wasn't too bad, right? And I think that you're getting both of these to kind of push a little bit here today. These don't look bad. bad opportunities, not at all. I think KDP is also a nice opportunity here. Pulling back here, if Coke could have a good report, maybe this is back towards the 38.50s. We'll see what happens there in these stocks. Of course, there's some more stocks to keep on watch. GM is getting destroyed today. A lot of that on what's going on in the autos, so keep that one on your radar. And then 3M. This one is an interesting one. It's been beaten down, so maybe it gets a little bit of a bounce there off their earnings, but I wouldn't be taking my shot on 3M. There's just too many kind of legal issues with 3M moving forward. All right. Any other stocks there on your radar for this week? Ryan, anything standing out to you?
Yeah, I mean, the big standout here for me is going to be the obvious ones, right? It's going to be that Thursday after the close. Where are we at with Apple, Amazon, and how do those numbers report? That's basically what I'm going to be watching it. I want to see how the market actually trades. We outlined those QQQ levels. I want to see where we finish on those. Just going to kind of be watching the market. I brought back some of my aggressiveness here today. Only made one trade. It worked out, so that's good. But we're going to be waiting for pretty good setups instead of trying to take stabs at this. So I'm going to be watching how the overall market trades. All this China stuff is getting killed. I just kind of want to see where we settle.
How about back to VWAP there? I thought we would get back here.
Nice little bounce there in some of those names, yeah.
Now the question is, do you get through the VWAP or do you fade right back down towards that 58? I don't think that I would be trying to attack that big of a move, but definitely maybe you're getting this move back towards 59.88s, 59.80s. It's a battle here. And if you want to take the short, one of the things is, of course, if you get a squeeze above 62, you could definitely get it to start pushing here. I think I'd look at some of the weaker ones to try to get up there first, like PDD, and to get back to the VWAP. It's still not there yet. So that could give me a little bit more room to wait to see the turn in JD and PDD, and then looking for the shorts. But you can see these, they're starting to get their bounce. So just be careful out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if those roll back over to the lows, though. So kind of keep that on watch, too. Mitch, I'm going to get rolling. I got some other stuff here to do. Have a good one. We will see you again here tomorrow morning.
Definitely. We'll be battling here. Of course. Go ahead, my friend. Have a good one. We'll definitely see you tomorrow. All right. We're going to keep battling here till we get you to the futures action. That's coming up next at 11 in 8 minutes. So if you guys got a ticker you guys want to check out, this is your chance. Throw it up in your chat. Throw it up in the chat right now. I'll make sure to try to get to it. Why the huge jump in Meta? Well, that Meta jump was the snap. I tried to give you guys the insight when this was already ripping. I said that snap might turn Meta green. Meta was just right here when snap was ripping. This is why it's important to know the relationship there. Snap was already ripped, and then Meta played catch up to that rip and got the push. I also said look for Pinterest to do the same. Look at Pinterest. It was down towards the bottom, right around that spot, and then got the spike. This is why you got to always know the relationships with the names. Google also got that spike right around the same time and started spiking, all off of that snap kind of action that you were seeing in the options. All right, let's keep going. Is anyone planning to attend the Money Show in Orlando, Florida on the 30th or the 1st? I'll tell you, Beach Bum, I reached out to them to see if maybe they would give me some access to it. I'll let you know if I'm heading out there. I will be in probably Orlando this weekend. I might take a little trip down there. I didn't know if I was going to stay for the Money Show, but hey, who knows? Maybe we do a little meetup. We'll see what happens, Beach Bum. All right, let's go towards the stocks out there. Looks like I'm still in this CVS. Going to see what happens. Right now, I'm just probably going to set a stop so I can stop watching this and focus on my shows that are later today. But we'll see if this can continue working. This is a CVS play today. Communication services catching a little bit of a bounce now. So some of those plays, right? AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. T-Mobile's the one that I would like for the upside here because at least I think it has some upside potential, right? And so right here, it looks interesting. Just got off the bottom. You're seeing the pattern kind of play out. Would want it to hold 138 here on this little pullback. Get back through that high there of 138.35. Doesn't look too bad there. T-Mobile, Verizon, all these plays kind of similar lineup here. And we'll see what happens in communication services. Is in the green overall. Let's see if it can get that bounce. Healthcare coming back strong, so that looks good. What are some areas that are doing well? Healthcare plans. I'm in the CVS trade, but take a look at some of the other ones. We'll see if they can continue running. MOH taking lead right now. Molina Healthcare getting a little bit of a push before these trying to take off. We'll see if they play some catch up. Other areas to kind of keep on watch today. Energy still into the green right now. This is interesting as it's held on here. XOM up still into the green. Now trying to hold VWAP and make that next leg. This doesn't look too bad at all right now if it can make that next push up. And you can see how it's trying to hold. Let's see if it gets through to that 107. Just cracked through the VWAP 3 times. You got this crack, right? Right at the beginning, right? Then you got a crack here. You got a crack 3 times to break the VWAP. Now needs to hold that VWAP in my eyes to make that push towards 107. We'll see if we get that run or not. Gush can be another way that you guys can be looking at this. MRO, Oxy. Oxy's right near the VWAP. So that looks interesting to me, right? We'll see if this can make higher lows, higher low trend here on the bottom. We'll see if this can continue in Oxy today. Boyle reversing, said someone. Well, we'll keep watch on Boyle. Boyle is getting a little bit of a push. UNG getting a little bit of a push. Did we finally get the run that we've been looking for in natural gas? We'll definitely keep this on our radar. Will it start moving? It's one way that we definitely want to keep it on watch. Also, right, is uranium starting to get back its move? This had fallen off the tape. Now it's looking like it's starting to come back. I'd keep this one on radar. It could get another drive up. LEU, UEC. We'll see what happens with the uranium plays and some of the natural gas plays, but that's going to probably do it. Starting to wrap up today. ASML up. We'll see what happens. Definitely taking my shot in these stocks. I have not ASML, but I do have LRCX. We'll see if this can hold on. I'm playing short side. Like always, guys, you guys make your own decisions, and we'll see how they keep battling today. CCJ has earnings this week. Well, good to know, Jay. Let's see if this can actually start bouncing after it got crushed down. Now it's looking to start bouncing. Will it close the gap towards 25? That's what I would be looking. It doesn't look too bad if it could fill in that shadow zone. We'll see what happens there in CCJ. Like always, guys, do me the favor, hit the like on your way out of here. If you guys appreciated us sticking around, doing some live trading action, getting the risk that is out there, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we try to go ahead and talk about process. We're taking risk every day. For you guys out there, hit the thumbs up. Let's keep battling to keep moving towards the next skill in your development. Of course, one of the things that you guys can look into is the futures action, right? Futures action sometimes just gets kind of not talked about, because a lot of people make a lot of money and lose a lot of money in futures. But there's a lot of deeper patterns that you guys can be looking for to use futures action to hedge your bets. These are great ways to go ahead and continue making profits, even on a setup where, let's say, maybe you're swing trading to the upside, but a negative catalyst comes in overnight. How do I go ahead and handle that and hedge my bet? Well, find out ways that you can do it on our futures show. That's coming up next with Zunaid. And if you like Zunaid, you got to stick around. Hit the like button. I'll get you guys over, and we'll see what this market brings. It looks like we're in a battle. Will we get back into the green? Looks like we're finding some balancing right now. I think we might get a little bit of a push, but I won't be around here for it. Hit the thumbs up, and we'll see what happens. If I'm able to go ahead and make it out there to Orlando, I'll definitely let you guys know. Hit the thumbs up. I'll see you guys later on Stock Market Movers. Let's get out of here and let's keep this day going. There's a lot going on. Futures coming up next.